From a compilation of articles by Rabbi Michael-ben-Pesach, Portnaar. The Creator must be felt, not thought about. Turns out, with the Zohar, we have a completely contradictory situation. Those who know Torah, the whole Tanakh, know the simple meaning of traditional studies, and they know much better than I. They know almost by memory, because from early age, from 4 years old, they begin to study Torah. And all other sections of the Torah studies, they do not study Zohar. But those that take upon themselves to study Zohar, they are not ready. And it turns out, like in the Russian riddle, Maria is there, Ivan is missing. Ivan is there, Maria is absent. Therefore, try to read, at least to know, Torah in its most simple form, and prophets, and writings, because this can't be studied any other way, but only in direct meaning, like a story, as though historical, in order to know the episodes, the stories, the situations, the characters. This is important, because sometimes it is difficult for me, and I get stuck. Instead of paying attention to that which is of the utmost importance. For example, a 12-year-old Jew who knows from where which verse is, but I had to study all at an older age, and attained all that I was supposed to learn starting from childhood, but did not because of the Soviet reality in which I was living. And to you I suggest to constantly turn to Tanakh, because all that we learn in the Zohar is a commentary of the Torah. Otherwise, it is impossible to understand what, why, how to connect Torah with all that we are learning here. Now it's been 11 years since I have started to give lessons in Dutch language, and only now have we started to learn Sha'ar Agilgulim, Gates of Reincarnation. I promised them this many years ago. There are many names which are mentioned, incarnation of one soul, its connection with another soul. There it is necessary to know the stories of the Torah, at least to know who this was and what happened with him or her. And without this knowledge, we are constantly distracted from the essential truth of what is being taught. And if you were to read the Torah, it must to have in 2 languages. Hebrew is imperative. To read the Torah only in Russian or in English will not give us a thing, and in no way will help you. Because all of the names are tempered with, they took all of these from the ancient Slavic, ancient Bulgarian, and those took from the Greek translation, from which proceeded all the other translations. By itself, this translation was beautiful and poetic, but they were lacking certain sounds in their language that are present in the Hebrew, and because of this lack, they changed the true names given in the Torah. And because of this, it simply does not help. We know that the whole Torah is the names of the Creator, that in every Hebrew word there is implanted gematria, and secrets, and all of the power and strength. But they have simply taken it and made some kind of vinaigrette, beet salad, simply some kind of a popular story, like this helps the soul. This is fine and dandy for the simple masses, for the simple person, be they on the street or in the monastery. But is this acceptable for the person who individually works on himself, that desires to work lishma, for the sake of the Creator, to work one-on-one with the Creator? For indeed, only this helps, and this only is possible through the holy tongue. I simply lack sufficient words to underline the importance of this point. My Dutch students already understand the importance of studying in the holy tongue, and that is simply impossible to run from this. Not to the left nor to the right. Therefore, when there's a reference to a verse of the Torah, you can find this and work with the text. When I study, I always had Torah on one side and the Zohar on the other side. For Hashem desires that we would labor over the Torah, otherwise nothing will work out. Otherwise, these efforts will remain only good intentions. It is impossible in any other way. Learning of the Torah takes a lot of time. Getting close to the Creator is hard work. The closer we get, the harder the work. But you keep going. You are ready to approach these difficulties. You feel the pain and overcome it, and then this is already sweetness. Without the overcoming of pain, there's no closeness with the Creator. Pain is feeling of the will to receive, which proceeds from our material, and you struggle through this material. How can this happen in any other way if not through the sensation of the divine, of this divine pain? And this is sensed, namely, when you busy yourself intensely with Torah. Not simply listened to the lessons and then moved on in the studies. I sat, yearned, knew that I have to ask questions when I was learning Zohar. No one did I have to ask questions when I was learning Zohar. I traveled around the world and asked everywhere, teach me Zohar, I will pay you. And I had some savings that I put aside for this as I worked. I'll pay you, just teach me Zohar. But no one knew. No one knew it. And he who's in Israel, in Bnei Baruch, Lightman, he absolutely does not know the Zohar. It is not given to him. He only learned Tess. He wrote to me himself, that which I learned with my teacher, that is what I teach. And to learn Zohar with his teacher, Baruch, was simply impossible. Listen to a couple of his Zohar lessons and you will immediately be convinced of this. Therefore, for this reason, Zohar was not given and is not given to his students as well. This is not to talk down on him, but only that you would firmly know this. And the way he gives Tess, that does not help at all. For his conception of Tess is brainy, technical, pseudoscientific, socio-philosophical. It is necessary to delve into what you're learning. If you study and it feels pleasant and in agreement with your body to the extent that your body even encourages you, he likes that you study the Zohar and Kabbalah in general, it means that you are deceiving yourself, saying, I am learning something spiritual, etc. Various earthly rewards that you present to your body, to your evil beginning inclination, and in turn it rejoices. You should know that only when you feel heavy, rudeness, that you must go through the pain in the study of the Zohar, Tess, and all that we are studying. In particular, the study of the Zohar, for the Zohar gives us all sorts of spiritual concepts that fill the human soul as nothing else can. Because Zohar stimulates in us the complete integrated reality, and not something else that is generated from it. The Zohar, for example, Etz Haim, this is Mochin, the essence that the Holy Ari pulled out of the Zohar. And we receive great Mochim when we study it. But Zohar is Tiferet. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was clothed in Tiferet of Ze'ah. If you look at the tree of life, all the lines from all the Sefirot flow to the Tiferet, both the upper and lower. Tiferet connects everything, as does the Zohar. Tiferet, this is the body of the Partzuf, and Zohar gives strength, namely, into the body. The whole point is to receive the spiritual within the body, not within the head. We must feel the Creator, not to thinking of Him. Thinking of Him is the priority of angels, for they only have one specific task. But to a person is given the complete, integrated reality of higher and lower worlds. And it is in the body of a person, the body of his Partzuf, and is the only way to experience the grace of the Creator, rather than in the head. True is the proverb, better is one bird in the cage than 10 in the air. Only Zohar gives us the whole, indivisible, singular reality which creates inside the feeling of grace, eternity. This eternity clothes the body from head to toe, but not without pain. For us, we know the body was taken from the impure forces, and I mean the inner part of the Partzuf, i.e., man himself inside the body. And therefore the physical body of man is left with no choice but to keep up with the person, to absorb into itself the inner glow. The Torah said about Moses, when he came down with the Torah, it was impossible to look at his face. He glowed. Moshe then covered his face, for Torah is Ze'ah, and Ze'ah is Tiferet, and he lowered Torah down into the body. The meaning of the Torah's descent down is that Moshe is Da'at, which is in the head, and due to this he lowered her, Torah, down to the people, the body, making it clear that the Torah must be felt not with the head. This greatness of the Torah is not comparable to anything that the people of the world are entertaining themselves with and calling spiritual. And this we receive fully through studying the Zohar.